y'all. Back for the next book, Numerology for Beginners. If you don't know nothing about numerology, it is fine. This book is going to tell you everything you need, has all the formulas. You just need to do the work, okay? So grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Not a pen, not a marker, a pencil. Because you might need to erase and start over. That's why I need you to get a pencil now instead of later when I get halfway through the book, all right? We're going to start with the intro, and then we're going to get to this whiteboard, all right? Introduction. Numerology, the magic key. The magic key implies that there might be a secret key to the door of the mysterious world of love, success, and riches. But, you say, if numerology could unlock that door, wouldn't everyone know by now? And wouldn't everyone be using it to get what they want? Actually, numerology doesn't show anyone with anything. It merely points the way and guides you down the right path to whatever it is you desire. How can this be? Well, let's say it acts as a road map with all the paved roads, detours, hills, and valleys clearly marked. You simply pick your goals and follow the route the map indicates. Take it from me, a skeptic turned practitioner. Numerology is a great aid to have working for you. It has been accurately charting the destiny of mankind since before the 6th century BC, in the days of Pythagoras, astronomer, astrologer, philosopher, and first recognized numerologist, and it can be easily do the same for you. Just what is numerology? There are plenty of books on the market for those who wish to pursue it scientifically, so I need not go into a lengthy and precisely detailed explanation here. This book is a quick reference, ready-to-use manual intended to allow you to turn to the proper page for the information you need, without having to wade through all the whys and wherefores. It's a bit like popping a frozen, ready-made dinner into the oven instead of having to prepare the very same thing from scratch.
Ring, ring, ring. Ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Now my phone's ringing. It's fine. We want to keep going, okay? And I'm not editing it out, okay? However, some explanation is certainly needed here. So here it is. Interpretation of numerical digits preceded astrology and gematria. The actual study of numbers gave the first understandable answers to most universal problems and events. The Kabbalah, the doctrine that deals with the mystic lore of the ancient Hebrew, employed numerology as a method of determining the character and destiny of the earliest men. It is said that the science of numerology was actually taught to Adam and Eve, therefore taking us back to our earliest spiritual beginnings. Numerous incidents in the Bible testify to the fact that Jesus Christ used numerology in his teachings, even changing the original names of his disciples to match the numerological vibrations of the mission he wished them to undertake. Simon, henceforth thy name shall be Peter, and on this rock my church will be built. And so it was, St. Peter's Basilica of the Vatican. Throughout history and in every form of metaphysical teaching, numerology has been universally used. In fact, the ancient art of tarot card reading is also rooted in this science. Early concepts of numerology led to the beginnings of structural mathematics, a prime requisite for the study of the measurement and motion of the stars, which astrologers believed control our destiny, and scientists know foretell climate and seasonal changes. In one way or another, all of life is controlled by numbers. To cite the obvious example, there are 12 months to a year, 24 hours in a day, and 7 days in a week. Numbers which control the cycles of our lives on a day-to-day basis. Seasons control our crops, and tides are governed by the moon. Even the mating of animals is confined to a certain periods of time, and the gestation period of any one of them, again, is known by a definite number of days, weeks, or months. 9 months for a human being, approximately 2 months for dogs, 11 months for a horse, and so on. Each falls into a particular category governed in some way by numbers. If seasons, which determine the planting and harvesting of crops, mating of animals, and running of tides, which govern the action of our seas, are controlled by the movement of the planets at certain times of the year, within a numerical pattern, should we not accept the fact that these same planets have exactly the same effects on humans, who are, after all, just another form of life on Earth? Since the beginning of time, it has been known that the moon not only controls the tides, but also has an effect on the brains of animals and humans alike. The light of the moon is said to release strains of madness in the mentally unbalanced person, strong romantic or melancholy emotions in any human being, and the killer instincts of animals in the primitive wilds. The effect moonlight has varied according to the emotional balance of the individual, but whatever form it takes, its definite effect cannot be denied. We feel cheerful and lazy when the summer sun is shining bright in the skies, and we are contemplative and quiet when the planet Uranus is in dominance. Peace, harmony, and happiness always rule when Venus is supreme, and so it goes with every planet and its particular influence on the universe. The question then arises, should we not all have the same instincts and desires under the influence of each planet, thereby dividing civilization into only 12 definitive categories of reaction? The answer is no. The reaction of each individual depends upon the personality or destiny with which we are born. Numerologically, there are 9 different paths of destiny into which all things fall. 9 different personalities resulting in 9 different forms of reaction. Someone born with a 6th destiny will probably react to every situation instinctively with understanding and love, whereas someone with a 7th destiny will be contemplative and even moody. Therefore, even though all Leos born between July 24th and August 23rd may be said to enjoy certain benefits during a particular month, as in astrology, each of the 9 paths of destiny will precipitate an entirely different reaction to the influences of that month, so that each Leo will have an even more specific pattern that varies greatly. A month that may bring fame and fortune to a Leo with the 8th destiny could bring only hard work and little reward for one with a 4 destiny. So you can see that rather than a general prediction, numerology allows us a much more exact one by which to chart the attributes of or destiny of each and every one of us. There are other coordinating factors to take into consideration as well, through which we can pinpoint an exact trend or reaction of an individual. The name expression, for instance, will throw additional light on the matter of one's inherited destiny and how we will accept or reject this scheme of things. We can safely say that with the aid of numerology and illuminating maps it provides, we can chart whatever course we desire. If fame and fortune seem to be merely a dream, you can learn how to steer your course toward the realization of this dream. Is love and a happy marriage your goal? Then light your way with clearly by circumnavigating the reefs and shoals of disharmony and misery. Putting it in terms to which everyone can easily relate, we can say that to bake a cake, a cook must know the interaction of every ingredient. Baking powder will cause it to rise, eggs will make it light, and vanilla lends flavor. To mix them all together haphazardly will result in all sorts of unfavorable results. Your cake may be a flat, tasteless, doughy mass, completely unpalatable. But if you take the intelligent precaution of using a tested and accurate recipe that states the exact amount of each ingredient needed and the degree of heat and length of baking time required, you cannot help but turn out a masterpiece. Applying the same simple procedure to our lives, we can follow the recipe, numerology, to blend the necessary ingredients, the personalities of each person involved, and the amounts specified, the degree of giving and understanding that is necessary, and bake at a certain heat and length of time determined by the locality, the effect of the day, month, and year of each party, to produce a perfect relationship. It is really that simple. Why go through life forever on one path when the attainment of all your goals lies in another direction? I must caution you to remember always that there is good and bad, positive and negative, in everything animal, vegetable, or mineral. The happiness and success that is meant for you will only be yours by using the positive aspects of your destiny. To be negative in anything can only result in failure and unhappiness. All numbers have a positive and negative side, but the negative can be positivized by knowing what to look for and what to avoid. If the weatherman says it's going to rain, you automatically take an umbrella with you when you go out. And so it is with numerology. If you check your day's vibrations, you know how to prepare yourself for that day. And most importantly, if you have a bad day, you can manage it when you know that it's just one day's vibration and is generally followed by an up day. I learned this, the most important lesson of my life, from a dear friend at the time when I could see nothing but a bleak and unhappy future ahead of me. She changed my life to one of delight and contentment by simply saying, when something goes wrong, you must think to yourself, this is not meant for me. Something much better will be shown to me if I just look for it and accept it. Look only at the negative side, and you will see and attract nothing but the negative. In the same way that a smiling face will bring out the smiles of some, a frown will affect them likewise in a less positive manner. My friend reminded me that the moments wasted in bemoaning your fate are lost forever, whereas if you use those same moments to go forward, happiness and success will be much swifter in coming and last so much longer. Remember, too, that nothing is ever taken away without being replaced. When one loses one's sight, the hearing and other senses are enhanced. Likewise, when a romance or a position goes sour, use the experience and understanding gained to apply to a better, more fruitful relationship or position, and be grateful for that experience. Do not waste time and tears. RECRIMINATIONS. Or self-pity, for this is time you can never regain, and only serves to keep you mired down in unproductive self-pity. If you spend $4,000 on a brand new car, you certainly aren't going to waste all your time crying over the money spent. Instead, you will be delighted in the car you spent it on. We get nothing for nothing. The same principle must be applied to everything we do. You spend months, years, and effort and emotion on various relationships. Spend them well and enjoy your purchases. Broken romances or marriages and financial reverses do not mean the end of everything, but the beginning of new, better situations. If you plot your course accurately, the doors to these more successful situations will be opened even before the old one is closed. Step through it eagerly and embark on new and exciting endeavors. People never get old or jaded when they face each new day with anticipation and positivity. It is important to realize that each day with its particular vibrations plays a definite part in the complicated jigsaw puzzle of life and must be accepted as such. Even the quiet, less productive days have their purpose if you just realize and look for it. A 4-day of hard work lays the foundation for an 8-day that brings rewards. A 9-day of ending unfruitful relationships and projects paves the way for a 1-day that is the beginning of all things. Each day and its vibrations mean another step in the right direction and should be understood as such and welcomed. To be negative and resentful about the seemingly unhappy and unsuccessful occurrences that are bound to pop up in everyone's life would be to disturb the balance of the natural progression of your destiny as determined by your birth. It would make it impossible for the best of things to be forthcoming. Should you have any doubt of the truth of this statement, try being positive, as of this very moment, about everything that happens, and see if you don't automatically become a calmer, more relaxed, and happier individual. You are, in effect, then opening yourself up to the universal powers that control your destiny, and only the best of everything can result. You will still have your bad days, of course, but by accepting them as integral spokes of the wheel of life, you will not suffer the bad effects of them and can go on to the good days, secure in the knowledge that they were necessary in laying the foundation for the happy events you wish for and anticipate, rather like getting a vaccination against a disease. Since I became interested in the fascinating science of numerology, I have encountered a consistent pattern of reaction from people. First, there is a predictable skepticism manifested by sarcasm, humor, and even ridicule. But when one can be told exactly what one's habits and secret desires are, plus the prevailing attitudes and events of past months or years, as well as that of one's mate, ears begin to perk up, and skepticism is replaced by curiosity, leading to investigation that turns up verifying and unalterable facts. Eventually, curiosity gives way to enlightened understanding and finally, fervent interest. We can soon learn to accept the pattern of our life and adjust our schedules and attitudes to coincide with it rather than waste effort and lose patience and temper unnecessarily and unproductively by opposing this pattern. The same energy expended in negative, destructive anger can be put to positive, constructive use in other ways. It is not just good common sense to avail yourself to the shortcuts to love and success that are yours through numerology, rather than tread the uncharted, iffy path of chance. Numerology gives you the key to your mate's or lover's temperament, ambition, desires, and inherent characteristics. With this knowledge, you know where he or she is going in life and how they will get there. You can help immeasurably by subtly providing guidance onto the positive side of the road so their destiny can progress peacefully and successfully. By knowing your mate's day vibration, you will know how to sidestep the pitfalls, when and how to be supportive, and how to make a good day for both of you. Numerology can also illuminate the path of anyone you want to interact with, whether in business or business relationships, whether in personal or business relationships, by giving you an indication of their personality through a quick calculation based on the letters of their name. This is quite handy in determining how to conduct yourself in an interview, a meeting with a prospective client, how and when to ask for a favor or raise, how to impress a date, or how to deal with a friend or family member on any particular day. This calculation will tell you instantly how they will respond and what will evoke the positive result you seek. All of numerology is based on the numbers 1 through 9, since all numbers beyond 9 can be reduced to a single digit within that group. Zeros are automatically dropped. Example, the numbers 14, 23, and 32 all become 5 when added together and reduced. 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 5, and 3 plus 2 is 5. Some numerologists also use the master's numbers 11, 22, and 33 in their full vibrations, which are very powerful, rather than reducing them to single digits of 2, 4, and 6. We won't use them here since this book is written for general use, but anyone wishing to go deeper into this fascinating science can decide upon further investigation whether or not they wish to use the higher vibrations of those numbers. Even if you don't use numerology to actually plot your course, it can still provide a quick fix of positive thinking. We have always heard the expressions, think and it can be, or think your way to health and wealth, etc. There is no question about the power of positive thinking. Knowing the positive power inherent in each day's numerological vibrations gives you an uplifted attitude with which to help shape your day. Immediately following this introduction are numerical value and trait attributions charts that will help you analyze and interpret the various aspects covered in this book. Then, in the following chapters, you will learn how you can personally vibrate to the secret powers of numerology. So-called good luck is automatically inherent in every destiny, so I shall not wish it for you. That would be to imply what is not a negative assumption. I shall only wish you a fast comprehension of all that follows and the supreme contentment that it can bring you. If you do not accept numerology on a scientific basis, you most assuredly can enjoy it as a party game. In either case, read on and enjoy. How numerology works. Can the 21st century be just around the corner? Ready or not, it is. And as in all things, the better prepared we are for anything, the better advantage we take of it. We prepare for different seasons and climates, both of which depend on the numerological power of the months of the year, and so it is with the onset of each year. Queen Elizabeth referred to 1995 as her Annus Horribilis, and how often do we say on New Year's Eve, thank God this year is over, and look on to the new one for better luck? That is no meaningless statement, because the universal power of a year is very important. As an example, the number 6 connotes peace. Now, 1995 was a 6th numerological year, and in that year we finally brought about the first steps to peace in Bosnia with the Dayton Accord, after horrible death and destruction in that country. We also saw a peace accord signed between Israel and Palestine. New York City enjoyed a major reduction in crime for the first time in a very long time. The 1996 is a 7-year, the negative side, which is critical, unrelenting, calculating, elusive, and devious, all of which has certainly been evidenced as America's 2 political parties fought for supremacy and actually closed down the government to prove their own particular points. Happily, the positive side of 7 is philosophical, thoughtful, intelligent, analytical, and inventive. So there is always hope at the end of the tunnel. The 1997 is an 8, which can be very profitable if observed in its positive sense, which means to be wise, charitable, considerate, spiritual, and to show leadership and power. But we must avoid the negative side, which indicates power madness, egotistical, and dictatorial motives. The 1998 is a 9-year, signaling the end of a full cycle. It is time meant for sorting out and discarding all the debris of the past 9 years, reassessing our values and motives so that the slate is clean and ready for a new beginning. The 1999 becomes a 1-year and heralds the start of an entirely new cycle when we have a chance to start over, correct the thinking and mistakes of the past, and take a positive step into the future. This is a preparatory stage for the big 21st century that begins the following year. And finally, the year 2000. Even Nostradamus predicted big things for this new century, and we all want to be well prepared for it. Numerology can tell us what it will mean for each of us and how to handle it. The first chart on page 14 shows you the specific powers of each letter in the alphabet. Later you will see how to use these numbers for quick and easy calculation of almost anything in your life, from your love to luck, business, or personal. Numerological destiny. For a quick determination of the universal destiny power for the year you were born, find the year of your birth in the lower part of the second chart, dropping the 19. Example, 1936 is 36. And finding the corresponding number from 1 to 9 in the box across the top. This is the power inherent in that particular year that will impact on everything and everyone. For your own personal destiny power, add the day and month of your birth to the number determined for your year of birth in the chart that follows. Then check chapter 1 for your destiny's vibration. Let me write these on the board for you all so y'all can see. Okay. Traits attributed to each number. It will be very difficult to try to remember all the specifics listed in this book for each number vibration. To make it easier for you, try to commit to memory at least the key traits. Once you learn them, you will see how they automatically trigger related traits and characteristics, and how they all seem to paint an almost vivid picture. Eventually, you will be able to easily ramble on because each trait will become permanently fixed in your mind. After you've learned a sufficient range of traits for each number, you'll be able to make quite a splash at your next party or impress your date. It's a wonderful way to find out the age of someone in whom you're interested. After all, you can't determine a person's destiny number if you don't have his or her birthday. You'll find most people will be so anxious to have their fortune told that they will be almost eager to tell you. Once you learn the traits well enough, you will be able to see how they interact with one another, and you can make more intelligent judgments. You will see how it is possible for one number to negate or enhance the vibrations of another, depending on its placement. The power of the vowel, for instance, can become either negligible or very important. If it is the same as the destiny number or total personality number, then it proves that the person is living his or her life exactly as desired in their heart. This indicates a very strong person, one who will live life openly and freely. If, however, a person's strength remains solely in their vowel vibration, it means that they only daydream about a freer lifestyle, but don't have the strength to do anything about it. In another chapter, we will go into this more thoroughly, and you will see how it's done. Specific traits for each number. If you came up with a 1, like moi, okay, positive traits: leadership, intelligence, courage, pride, independent, inventive, creative, organized, methodical, original, individualistic, positive, determined, authoritative, and aggressive. Negative side: stubborn, domineering, dictative, selfish, demanding, depressed, egotistical, cold, unfeeling, tactless, and hypersensitive. If you came up with a 2 as your destiny number, the positive traits: patient, tolerant, cooperative, peaceful, quiet, agreeable, reliable, considerate, understanding, sympathetic, diplomatic, charming, friendly, graceful, self-sufficient, efficient, and forgiving. The negative sides: shy, depressed, listless, uninterested, wishy-washy, insipid, indefinite, not stupid, that's crazy, malleable, ambitionless, and oversensitive. Gerie Bauer is crazy. That's wild. If you came up with a number 3, positive expressions. Self-expression: popular, friendly, exciting, talented, passionate, sexual, artistic, effervescent, fashionable, social, enthusiastic, creative, versatile, witty, romantic, charming, interesting, and cheerful. The negative traits: vain, egotistical, gaudy, fickle, wasteful, critical, domineering, promiscuous, lackadaisical, loquacious, and bombastic. If you came up with a 4, the positive traits: proud, sturdy, reliable, conservative, firm, steady, hardworking, methodical, determined, constant, permanent, loyal, practical, patient, and logical. The negative traits: stubborn, jealous, uninteresting, plotting, depressed, unimaginative, stingy, argumentative, and dictative. If you came up with a 5, the positive traits: literary, dramatic, adventurous, exciting, energetic, interesting, flamboyant, physical, sexual, passionate, intelligent, enthusiastic, charming, free-thinking, futuristic, humorous, probing, curious, versatile, free-spirited, creative, and inventive. The negatives are fickle, unreliable, jealous, envious, depressed, temperamental, impulsive, greedy, peripatetic, wasteful, vain, inconsistent, moody, sarcastic, critical, overextended, devious, and calculating. If you came up with a 6, positive traits are peacemaker, unselfish, charming, sympathetic, home-loving, spiritual, intelligent, just, artistic, persuasive, creative, truthful, serene, considerate, angelic, loyal, humanitarian, loving, thoughtful, caring, reliable, and honorable. The negative traits are vain, wasteful, selfish, intrusive, meddling, picky, underhanded, stifling, nagging, self-righteous, and extravagant. If you came up with a 7, the positive traits are spiritual, mystical, quiet, philosophical, thoughtful, intelligent, analytical, pensive, discreet, sympathetic, inventive, psychic, intuitive, introspective, artistic, and reserved. The negative traits are lonely, critical, depressed, moody, shy, slow, cold, unrelenting, withdrawn, elusive, standoffish, devious, and calculating. If you came up with an 8, the positive traits are fame, power, fortune, charitable, wise, constant supply, leadership, spiritual, considerate, courageous, helpful, humanitarian, perspective, kind, charming, ambitious, understanding, successful, sincere, and reliable. And the negative traits are power mad, egotistical, vain, dictatorial, depressed, and money hungry. And finally, if you came up with a 9, the positive traits are intelligent, adventurous, exciting, interesting, inspirational, creative, wise, spiritual, curious, searching, giving, generous, emotional, loving, passionate, futuristic, psychic, philosophical, intuitive, understanding, sensitive, peaceful, sincere, dramatic, leadership, talented, compassionate, sophisticated, and romantic. The negative traits: loneliness, depression, wastefulness, self-pity, over-emotional, unselective, and unconcerned. International celebrities and their numerological vibrations. It is not unusual to look at famous people and wonder what made them famous. How did they know what to do when? Where did they get their ideas that made them a fortune? Why do certain personalities become stars when others, with perhaps more talent, never make it? Or certain employees get raises and promotions when others are either doing better work or have more experience and they never do. We have often seen rather unattractive people with gorgeous mates, and the common question is, what do they see in them when they could have anyone they want? This is because we only see the exterior. It's obvious that something unseen is the motivating factor: personal numerological vibrations. Whether action was taken according to these vibrations or they just happened into the proper cycle, the parties obviously reaped the benefits of their personal vibrations. A good example of being in sync with one's numerological cycles: President Clinton won re-election on November 5th, 1996, which was his 8th personal day vibration. And 8 always means fame, power, and fortune. Need I say more? You see what makes certain celebrities tick. Try your hand at some of those that follow, but remember that you have to take all vibrations into account: destiny, personal day, personality, etc. Often, a single vibration will give you one perception, but when factored into an entire numeroscope, you will get a clearer picture. So go the whole route. A personal destiny vibration may give you one reading, but the name expression will give you something else entirely. Then, too, a woman's personality will change when she takes on the vibrations of her new name upon marriage, so always consider every aspect. The following list of well-known personalities with their birthdays and destiny vibrations gives you a chance to experiment with the various readings that go into the whole picture. As you continue on through the following chapters, flip back to this one to choose a few names to do a complete numeroscope on to see what really makes them tick. It will be good practice for you, and you may be in for a surprise. And here are all these celebrities. I'm not about to read them all, but I will show you what they look like, okay? These people. These people. And these people. And now we're on to chapter 1.